No more. Is everybody alright?
Is everybody alright? Buddy, it doesn't look like you're alright. Bring the other gun out! Oh no! What is up, you sexy YouTube mother lovers? Yeah, I know, I don't look homeless anymore. As we've said before on the channel, guns are awesome. Idiots are not. When the two intersect, bad stuff tends to happen, occasionally resulting in the winner of a Darwin Award. Winning a Darwin Award isn't so much good for yourself as much as it is for everybody else that still remains on the planet when you're not here, because you've removed yourself from the gene pool. Here's not to say everybody you're about to see is an idiot, just a lot of them. Just as a disclaimer, what we're going to be doing is taking a look at a lot of gun fails and gun accidents and things like that from across the internet, and really using some kind of dark humor to try to shed some light on what they could have done differently, and kind of like as a PSA to avoid these things going forward. We're going to learn how to be safer with firearms, and also potentially witness the winner of a Darwin Award. First up, by massive request, Tannerite Lawnmower Guy. So here we have, this gentleman is shooting a lawnmower that apparently he is filled with tannerite. He's missing a shitload, and so he gets closer, which is great. I think on the back of the box of those, if you don't know, tannerite is a brand of exploding target, like a binary explosive. They're used for great dramatic effect when you're shooting things and can be done very safely. I've shot them a bunch, and mostly been safe with them. They also have a label on the back that says you should stay back at least 100 feet or 100 yards. I can't remember. This gentleman is like 30 yards away from a lawnmower filled with God knows how much tannerite. So let's see what happens. So that was a good bit of tannerite in there. Actually, if you just pause on that frame there, where it first goes up, that's more than 1 pound of tannerite. If I had to guess, this is maybe like anywhere, probably about 5-ish pounds, like maybe 3, maybe 8, whatever. This is a decent bit of tannerite. Standing way too close, and there's something interesting about lawnmowers. They actually cut grass using big-ass blades, which I'm assuming this gentleman did not remove prior to filling it with a low-grade explosive. The craziest part is the life juice that is on his buddy's pants right off the bat. That was just a clean, And I think this guy did end up losing his leg, which, it sucks, it really does suck. I don't know anything about this guy, and this is just, everybody has moments where they do dumb shit. That really blows. He's gonna have a reminder of that for the rest of his life. However, he did end up recovering from his wounds, sands, and appendage, which means he did not win a Darwin Award. That's not to say that binary explosives are something that should be screwed around with. Our next contestant up here, Mr. FPS Rusher, the guy we all grew up on, one of the single most people who inspired me to be a gun tuber, one of the few times he almost killed himself on video and turned a YouTube video into a snuff film, was also using binary explosives. And this is the video where he almost committed self-die with a truck door.
A little shrapnel going.
Now, for anybody who was watching that video for the first time, I'm pretty sure I just heard your asshole pucker. That truck door was on a mission. So if I recall correctly, Kyle had actually talked about this on Painkiller Already, the podcast that they do. And he had said that normally they put explosives like binaries when they're shooting at a car in the middle or like hanging from the rear view mirror. But in this case, it didn't have a rear view mirror, so they tucked it next to the door. And that is what resulted in our passenger side door rocket manning past him and landing God knows where. My favorite part of this video, though, is his reaction to the camera seconds after realizing he came about yay close to getting the big sleep.
Maybe a lot of shrapnel. Well, I really like this rifle, I've got to say.
And right back into the spiel like a true professional. Professional Russian, if you will. Alas, no Darwin Award here. He would go on to continue making great YouTube entertainment for the rest of us to enjoy. Well, okay, at least until he remembered line item 11E on a 4473. Or the government reminded him, anyway. F. What a lad, though. Dude's not even wearing fucking eye pro. I know if I was doing shit like that, I'd probably be wearing eye pro. Probably. But I would definitely be wearing a ballistic vest. Which leads us to our sponsor, Safe Life. Safe Life Defense makes high-quality ballistic vests, plates, all sorts of stuff, and they're a huge supporter of the channel. You may have even seen our video shooting it with a variety of pistol calibers. If you'd like to check out their stuff, we'll go ahead and put a link down in the description and in the pinned comment. They're a big supporter of the channel, so we definitely want to show them some love. Really could not find a better video to shout them out on than a Darwin Award video. People getting... yeah. Speaking of people getting... yeah. Check out our next one. This video has been circulating the internet since before YouTube was a thing. I remember seeing this a long time ago, and that is why it is in fucking potato quality. So this gentleman is out here in the desert shooting his bolt-action 50 cal at steel.
Oh, Willie.
Oh, Willie, indeed. Let's see that again.
Oh, Willie.
Now this was a ricochet off steel, so that absorbed a lot of energy. Unfortunately, 50 BMG has a lot of energy to spare. If you're rocking at 18,000 foot-pounds of force, even if you cut that into like a third or a quarter, you're still rocking enough energy to really give somebody a bad day.
Oh, Willie.
Oh, God. That dude is so both lucky and unlucky. If that was like 4 inches to his right, you'd have fucking noggin soup. I'm not even gonna say this one was really his fault. That one's just really just unlucky. At that range, I would not even consider the possibility that you could get a direct... I mean, that's why you angle your steel targets, I guess, but holy shit. Tactical reload time. So here we have another video that is, again, old as dirt, but there's an interesting explanation behind this one. This one's good. So here, our Arab friend is going to start firing from a full-auto AK-47. Boom! That one's a winner. So I've seen this video circulated a lot when the AR versus AK stuff comes up. As you may imagine, I get a lot of that conversation saying, well, look, AK-47s can just detonate in your hands like this. Well, okay, there's a little bit more to the story on this, and it actually has a cool history. But first off, not a Darwin Award winner, because our pal here is just kind of rids his hands of this Kalashnikov as fast as he can, and it seems like he's okay. Although now he might be a little gun-shy. What I believe actually happened here in this video, and of course there's no way to confirm it, but because of the magnitude of this explosion, I think this is actually sabotaged ammunition, which is actually more common than you'd think. Specifically by the US in Vietnam as a part of something called Project Eldest Son. In order to turn the Viet Cong against their Chinese backers in the Vietnam War, and just kind of in general fuck with their heads, the US made and circulated tons of sabotaged 7.62 by 39 rounds. Instead of smokeless powder, they'd actually put like a small bit of high explosive in the ammo itself. So the purpose of this was to, you know, in effect, while the gun was being fired, all you need is one tainted round, and it just detonates and disables the enemy firearm. Now, of course, a shitload of these were distributed, but the Vietnam War ended, and so a lot of them are still floating around there, and I think some of them made their way to the Middle East, and I think that's what happened to our very, very unfortunate homie here. It's still just rad. That's crazy explosion. I'm marking this video for AK abuse. Next up, we got a video that, again, was very, very widely suggested last time around, so we are definitely going to talk about this. This is, cop shoots himself in the leg.
And see, this is an unloaded gun. Right here,
This is an unloaded gun. A lot of problems start with an unloaded gun.
This is a Glock 40. 50 Cent, Too Short, all of them talk about Glock 40. Okay, I'm the only one in this room professional enough that I know of to carry this Glock 40.
And there we go.
No more. Is everybody all right?
Is everybody all right? Buddy, it doesn't look like you're all right.
You all right?
He's the only one in this room professional enough to handle it.
That's it. Whoa. I got it. Yeah. I had an AD.
Good on him for calling it correctly, though. He said, first thing he says, I have an AD. I had an AD. I think he's talking to his partner or something like that. Which, if he was in the fucking room, I assume he saw. It's a desk pop. Come on. Yep, he had an accidental discharge. No idea why his finger was on the trigger or pulling the trigger. It doesn't really take that long to clear a firearm, especially maybe he was a nervous presenter. Firearm safety slipped his mind. Not a great thing when the thing that you're presenting is a firearm. I will say he took that gunshot like a fucking Chad, though.
And I made a mistake. So listen to me. Guys, listen to me.
I've never seen the rest of this video.
Listen to me. See that how the accident happened? It can happen to you and you can be blown away. Okay? So guys, never play with guns. See how accidents happen? They happen. Okay, now I'll probably never again show guns again. But Brian, bring that other gun out, Brian.
Bring the other gun out. Oh no! Okay, whatever props I gave him before for taking that like a hoss, double. He goes right into his safety spiel. This is why I don't play with gun, guys. Accidents can happen. As you can see, I've got a very bad arterial bleed, and I'm waiting for medical attention, but while I'm here, either way, Brian should not bring that other gun out. He took that shit so well. I have half a mind to think that this was set up and he did that on purpose. He was so prepared. God, improv 100. But this is a great example of one of the basic rules of firearm safety. Treat every gun as if it's loaded. You know there's going to be trouble as soon as it's a firearm failed video and somebody starts saying, this gun is unloaded. It really doesn't take very long to check. Just simple, pull the slide back, see if you can see the casing. It's very easy to check if firearm's unloaded because a lot of people just think it's got no magazine. This gun is unloaded. Well, you can still have a round in the chamber. It doesn't take but 2 seconds to check. Even after you checked, it really doesn't take that much mental power to just treat it like it is loaded. It's just kind of something you have to be conscious of. You know, everybody fucks up every now and then, but the good thing about the rules of firearm safety is you have to fuck up multiple rules at once to have an accident. These are extraordinarily safe tools as long as the user knows what they're doing. Unfortunately, it's when the people don't follow the basic rules of firearm safety and they still try to have fun that we have the really bad accidents. So this one I already know is going to be pretty bad. Man uses AK-47 for celebratory gunfire, kills guests at Pakistani wedding. Yikes. So in a lot of Arab cultures, kind of seems bizarre, even to the gun-toting United States. A lot of weddings and other celebrations, people just, shoot machine guns, pistols, whatever in the air. I guess out in the desert they don't feel like it's a problem where the bullets land. I don't know. Here in the States, we still view that kind of sketchy. In fact, where I was at in New Year's this year, we had some idiot that did that and ended up hitting some poor girl in downtown Raleigh. It's just, what comes up must come down, so just be conscious of that. This isn't something you want to do here. But anyway, over there, it's just kind of a part of their culture. It's a thing that they do. And a lot of times, okay, while it may not be safe, nothing bad happens. I mean, it's one of those things, you're shooting up in the air and whatnot, but occasionally you mix people that aren't following the rules of firearm safety with trying to have fun or trying to impress people, and then you have an accident like this. For those concerned, this clip does not actually include any of the people getting hit, but it is very obvious what happened. Because obviously, YouTube and everything like that, if you're seeing this video, congratulations. That means the algorithm is working properly. If we actually showed anything too bad here in this video, this would not be recommended to you. So for the guys who are like trying to watch the original videos and stuff when we blurred things, we have the video, the links down in the description if you're actually curious. But for obvious reasons, we can't do that here on YouTube. We at least don't want to risk it. So without further ado, let's see what we got. Oh damn, was that like a full auto choke arrest? Oh. Oh, Jesus. That's a rough one, because there's no safe direction here. It's just... Oh, God. So the guy limp-wristed the hell out of it. So he had, looked like just an underfolder AK, and clearly, I guess, did not anticipate the recoil of 7.62x39. Kind of a slight downward angle. Thing just pushed right down. A couple shots in, and he was at melon level. Not going to show the rest of the video because it's just a bunch of running and screaming around. It's not good. One fuck up in this case apparently killed 3 people at what was supposed to be a celebration. But even this, really shitty example of the Darwin Award, because Darwin Awards are supposed to remove the idiot from the gene pool. In this case, he proved that he's an idiot by removing 3 innocent people from the gene pool. So this one really also doesn't work. So not a Darwin Award, just manslaughter. So that brings us over to our next contender. So that's something like a PPSH or a Suomi, something like that, some submachine gun. Ooh, 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 oh. Fuck. So right off the bat, he's demonstrating extremely poor safety with the way he's loading this thing. Basically, I don't think it's pointed directly at him. Almost. He's sweeping around. He sweeps the camera, if you see right there. So he's pointing a now loaded submachine gun around at everybody around him. So he's already being an asshole. Even still, now that it's loaded, he's not quite confident. So he looks straight at the muzzle and pulls the trigger. Step 1, load submachine gun. Step 2, point submachine gun at face. Step 3, pull trigger. Step 4, wall pizza. Somehow our late friend here was able to fuck up all 4 basic rules of firearm safety at once. Treat every firearm as if it's loaded. Know your target and what's behind it. Never point a weapon at anything you're willing to destroy. Keep your fingers off the trigger until you are ready to fire. Follow those rules and you won't end up like this guy, who is actually our first ever actual winner of a Darwin Award. And with that, I hope you guys found this video entertaining, but I also hope that you maybe learned something so that this sort of thing doesn't happen to you. And with that, I appreciate you guys watching to the end of the video. As always, I will see you sexy YouTube mother lovers in the next video. Thanks.
Fuel is my obsession to make the perfect weapon, like Rasputin's rise to the top.
What blows me... can we even talk about the blood on his leg?
Maybe don't say blows me away either.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Sorry for reading texts. Just dumb shit. That was... I know you just, like, recorded the actual disdain that I had for most of my texts right there. Immortalized.
Do your eyes fit through those 2 gaps right there?
Safe life. No.